What is going on, guys? My name is Austin. I'm sick. It's so much fun. Can't you tell? So yeah, I'm not doing the best recently. There's some sort of sickness going around Michigan, and with it being wintertime now, it's not really helping the matters. I've had a sore throat for like at least a week or two, and then recently I started having like runny noses and sneezing all the fucking time. It's not been a great time, so I haven't been able to post any covers for you guys since the last one that I did, which if you haven't seen it, be sure to check it out. I did have the idea of actually talking to you guys since can't sing right now. So I thought, you know what, let's just do a Q&A because I've really wanted to do one of these. So I posted on the community tab here on my YouTube channel, which if you guys haven't seen, I've been posting on that recently, trying to figure out kind of what I want to do with that. Posting pictures, polls, stuff like that. So be sure to keep a lookout for that. Take part in those so that way I know what you guys want to see from me. Got a few comments asking some questions about me since I haven't really gotten the chance to talk to you guys in a while, so I figured I'd just answer a few questions. So I got my iPad right here. First question is from someone named Ellie Melly, which is spelled E-L-Y M-E-L-Y. Thank you, air conditioning, for coming on at the most opportune times. And she asked the first question simply, just asking how old I was. I'm 22 right now, and I turned 23 in January. She also asked if I'm studying anything in college, which I am. I am studying sports broadcasting at Central Michigan University. I am set to graduate in the spring. Super excited about that. My passion has always been not only music, but I've also been, as you can tell by the shirt underneath here, I'm a massive WWE fan. I wear their shirts occasionally during some of my covers. I started watching wrestling in 2009, and I've been a fan ever since. I just love the spectacle of it. I got to attend WrestleMania in New Orleans, and it was unbelievable. Like, it's literally just, I can only compare it as if I went to like a Super Bowl type event, because I've never been in an arena that packed and that loud, because it's like the entire building. It was at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, and the entire stadium was just bumping. It was shaking. Like, you could feel the emotion from the fans, like, all around you. And everybody there loved the same thing. I hadn't been around that many wrestling fans in my life, and it was such an unbelievable time. So my main goal with my sports broadcasting major is actually to be a play-by-play commentator for the WWE. So be like the Jim Rosses, where you hear on those meme compilations of like pro wrestling commentators commentating on like pratfalls and stuff like that, where it's like, oh my god, he's broken in half! That's what I want to do. I want to do that legitimately because I get to travel the country, watch the show that I love the most, and it doesn't sound like work to me. It sounds like the perfect job for me. So I've always wanted to do that. So to answer your question, yes, I study sports broadcasting so I can be a WWE commentator. I got a couple questions on here for a couple people asking me how I got into music and when I started like singing or playing guitar, all that kind of stuff. So I guess I'll just answer everybody who asked that question with just like a quick story of how I became the music head that I am. The first time I ever did anything musically was when I was 5 years old, and my mom wanted to get me into something creative, so she got me piano lessons, which was the first instrument that I ever learned. My teacher was this guy named John, who's unbelievable. Like, I had the opportunity to actually get a different teacher for piano, but I loved him so much that I didn't want to change at all. I had him for about 10, almost 15 years as my teacher before he eventually moved to Hawaii. So I started learning how to play piano when I was around 5, and then when I got into first grade is when I started, like, it's the first time I can genuinely remember myself singing in front of anybody. It was in my first grade class, and we were doing something along the lines of singing to the Lion King music. And it wasn't like in a music class, it was literally just in our normal classroom. I have no idea why we were deciding to have people come up and sing to the Lion King, but it was just happening, I guess. That's what we did in first grade. I don't remember. One thing I do remember is that this one kid came up to sing I Just Can't Wait to Be King. And I'm a big Disney fan, so I know like all the words to all those songs. I love Lion King. It's one of my favorites for sure, and I just love the music from Disney. So I knew all the words to I Just Can't Wait to Be King, which was actually my favorite song from that movie. So the kid actually got stage fright, got nervous, and they ended up not singing, and our teacher was just like, okay, well, is there anybody else who wants to sing this song? And I was like, duh, I can sing this. And I just, because I knew all the words, and I'd sing it all the time in the car with my family. I sang it every time I watched the movie, so I was like, I know how to sing that song. It's such a good song. So I did it. It was a lot of fun. The one thing I vividly remember is while I was singing it, I could see kids that weren't in my class peeking in through our classroom door, trying to see what the hell was going on, because this kid was just singing Lion King in the classroom. And then from that point on, like, people remembered me for singing that song and just being known as the kid who sang. I remember, like, every year in elementary school, like, people would ask me, like, oh my God, you gotta sing Lion King. You gotta do that. It was so cool. From that point on, I remember, like, it was, like, over and over again, people were like, you gotta do American Idol. You gotta do American Idol. Gotta do American Idol. Because that was, like, the big thing at the time, like, in the 2000s. Like, everybody, like, if you were a halfway decent singer, everyone was like, go American Idol. Yeah, so it was a fun time when I started doing that. I don't remember ever stopping singing. It was just from that point on, throughout the rest of my life, I was just singing all the freaking time, to the point where I annoy my family, I annoy my sister. I lost a relationship because my ex didn't like how much I was singing, even though at the beginning she was like, oh, it's so nice to have a boyfriend who sings. And then she's like, do you have to sing all the time? In terms of me learning how to play guitar, it was about the time when I was leaving high school, and I knew I didn't want to do band anymore, because I did band from middle school to high school, where I was like in percussion, and it was super familiar because like keyboard instruments and percussion instruments, it wasn't too difficult for me. I really wanted to get into something new, and I'd become a massive Ed Sheeran fan, and he inspired me to learn how to play acoustic guitar, and I think it was around like my junior or my senior years when I started learning how to play guitar, and I've been playing ever since then. So yeah, that's about my journey in music, I guess. Rithika Ra or Rithika Raj, I apologize if I said that wrong, wanted to know who my favorite artists were. Obviously 21 Pilots is up there. I mean, this channel is basically almost always posting 21 Pilots covers. They're just incredible, like legitimately, like just what they stand for, the music that they make, how creative they are, how passionate they are, how wild their fan base is, and like how amazing they are live. Like the fact that I got to see them live really solidified them as one of my favorites, because I'd never been at a show like that, and I'd never gotten so close to such a massive show like that. It was seriously one of the best concerts I've ever been to in my life, and I am so happy that I got to go. Ed Sheeran's obviously one of them. I own every single one of his albums on vinyl. I own his Multiply guitar. I've seen him in concert as well, and I cried when I saw him in concert and sang my head off. He's just one of my all-time favorites. Michael Jackson's one of my favorites as well. Dude's just a legend, and I learned how to dance like Michael, actually. Took hip-hop classes when I was in middle school, high school, and I learned how to dance, like do Michael Jackson dance moves, and I learned how to do hip-hop dancing. And my teacher Jaron, who's also one of my closest friends, really taught me how to dance really well, and it's like one of my favorite things to do too. It's like anything music related I can normally find enjoyment out of, and I just loved dancing to Michael. I loved singing Michael. He's one of my favorites for sure. Another one of my favorites is Watsky. He's a little bit lesser known. You probably know him if you've seen Epic Rap Battles of History. He's been in those videos a bunch. Watsky's incredible. I got to meet Watsky. He's super chill, super nice, incredibly creative. Obviously a fast rapper, and I love to do fast rap, whether it be on Ed Sheeran, 21 Pilots, Eminem, all that kind of stuff. I love rapping fast because it's just so enjoyable, and it really tasks me to do something like that takes a lot of time and effort, and when I get it done and I can just go through a whole verse, don't slip up once, and I can nail the rap, it's such a accomplishing feeling. So he's one of my favorites. Eminem, obviously. I'm a Michigan guy. I love Eminem. I got to talk with him actually on Shade 45 when Revival came out, and just the fact that I got to talk to Eminem was just insane. And the dude said my name. Like I can literally die and just put on my gravestone, Eminem said my name, and then just be like, there you go, that's it. I'll probably insert a clip of him saying my name, but yeah, here you go.
Hey man, how's it going?
It's going good, Austin. How you doing?
Isn't that fucking nuts? And then things like interchange all the time, whether who's my all-time favorite. A lot of times it just depends on who comes out with an album. So like at this point in time, Ed Sheeran's my favorite because number 6 collaborations came out. When Trench came out, it was 21 Pilots. Justin Timberlake, obviously. How could I forget Justin Timberlake? Dude's one of my all-time favorites as well. I mean, I've seen him live twice, and he's always been incredible. Dude's got incredible music, timeless music. Just, yeah, he's for sure up there. I can't believe I almost forgot him. My good friend Valerie, whose YouTube channel is Valerie Can Sing. There's your plug. Stop bugging me, Valerie. I'm just kidding, I love you. Valerie asked me if I've ever been taught by anyone other than myself, or am I completely self-taught? Now, in certain areas, I'm not completely self-taught. Like, piano was completely taught to me by my teacher, John, like I said before. He also, in the last year or two of him teaching me, back when I was like 13 or 14 years old, maybe a little bit older, he actually helped me a little bit with my singing because I was nasally. I was like, I can't listen to old songs of myself, which are probably buried somewhere in the desert where you can't find it because it was terrible. Like, I hated the way I used to sing. It was just all from the nose, never from the chest, never from the gut. It was all up here, and it sounded terrible. And so he really taught me the proper way to sing, the proper way to enunciate words when you sing, and really helped me in terms of like playing while singing, because that's the thing, you can play an instrument, but when you try to sing and multitask over like playing an instrument and sing at the same time, it's not incredibly easy because you can lose tempo, you're doing a different beat pattern while you're doing the strumming pattern or the playing pattern, whatever. You could be playing a riff on one hand, another on the other hand, and then singing at the same time. It's not easy to multitask, so he really helped me hone that down. But in terms of guitar, I've been basically self-taught the entire time. I didn't really want to go out and like get a professor or get a teacher to like go through the motions and learn over and over and over again, because I never really wanted to be like the guy who could play Stairway to Heaven or like the solos or like any kind of like rockin' thing. I'm not that kind of artist. I'm barely even an artist. I just do cover songs. I'm not that kind of musician. I focus on what I'm good at, and what I'm good at is like pop songs and like acoustic covers of hip hop songs, alternative, some rock, some country. Like, I focus on like just strumming. If I can get a riff down, normally it'll take me a longer time just because I haven't really gotten good at like scales or anything like that, but if I can find something that I can play, normally I'll work at it, and then once I feel comfortable with it. It took me forever to learn how to palm mute, which I hear a lot of people asking me how I do that in my videos, where I just palm mute the guitar string so that way I can have that cut, like that snare drum sound, or that just clap when you're doing a beat, so it's like boom, like people asking me how to do that. So that took me forever. That other than that, I'm the only thing I'm completely self-taught in is guitar, but everything else I've had a little bit of help with over the years, whether it be singing, piano, dance, anything that I do normally. It's mostly help from somebody else, but yeah, guitar I'm self-taught. Luis or Luis asks me, he has a really long name too, I can't say that in full, it's got like 4 different names. He asked me if there's a song that I couldn't finish singing because I was crying. And that's an interesting one, because obviously I'm a big fan of some emotional songs like Attic with a Pen or Car Radio. Like, they take a lot of emotion, and with Car Radio, with Attic with a Pen, I like literally had to take like a few minutes to myself and just kind of be like, because those are heavy songs, and like they take a lot of emotion out of you, and when you're feeling the words that you're singing, when you're playing out and you're belting the song, it takes a lot out of you. I don't think I've cried during a performance like that. I've listened to songs and I've cried a lot. Like when I listened to Supermarket Flowers by Ed Sheeran, that broke me hardcore. When I listened to Photograph live by Ed, that killed me too. One of the weirdest ones, actually, if you guys have never seen Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas, which is like the CG Christmas movie that was direct to DVD. I know it's on Disney Plus. You can find it on Disney Plus. But there's a specific short with Goofy and Max, where Max is coming home for the holidays with his new girlfriend, and he's introducing him to Goofy for the first time. He's introducing him to his dad, and his dad's being like, "Oh, Maxie," and like still treating him like he's a kid a little bit, but like showing him baby pictures to him and all this kind of stuff, and just being his normal Goofy self. And then Max gets upset. He walks out, but then he realizes he loves his dad. He's just being himself, and he doesn't want to like. He realizes exactly who he is, and like learns to accept it, and just has a nice holiday. And there's a song that plays during that short, like from the majority. It goes like, "Make me look good, you made me shine." Like, I can sing that now. Well, I can't really sing it because I'm sick, but like I can like hear the song in my head. But if I watch that short and I watch it with that song, it fucking kills me. I like break down crying because it reminds me of the relationship that I have with my dad and I. It's like my dad is very much Goofy and I'm Max. It's like it's literally what I see when I see that short. I see me take, like, if I brought a girl home for the holidays and like my dad or my mom embarrassing me, like poking fun at me a little bit, but then like we still have an amazing time and like I grow closer with my family, with my significant other. Like it's like it kills me because I just see myself so much in that short that I break down crying. I can't watch it. It's like how I can't watch Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch Has a Glitch, because seeing Stitch dead fucking kills me. But in terms of me crying to the point where I have to stop a performance, that hasn't happened yet, but I know it might eventually, just because like if I were to do like weddings of somebody close to me or something like that, because I've sung weddings before, and if I was to do something like that and if it's someone really close to me, I might not be able to hold back my emotion because I might just be like, oh my god, like I can't handle this, dude. Like I've like if my best friend or if my sister got married and I was like the wedding singer, like I wouldn't be able to hold it together. I guarantee it. I would be a fucking wreck. At this point in time, I haven't cried during a performance and I haven't had to stop myself from a performance because I've cried, but it might happen. I have no idea. It might happen. And finally, the last question from Dylan: have you ever thought about doing original music? And that's the one that I've been hearing a good amount of because I only do covers on this channel, basically. And a lot of people say like, oh man, I'd really like to hear you do a song of your own, or I'd like to see what you could do. I bet you could do a great original song, blah de blah de blah, and I'm just not sure. I'm not sure, because I've definitely been trying. I have been trying to write my own stuff. I've written, at this point in time, I think maybe 4 or 5 songs. Some of them have been like personal songs that I've written for friends, whether it be like for Valentine's Day or something like that. I've written them for friends, or they've just been about relationships gone wrong in my life because I haven't had the best luck with that. I'm not sure if I'm ready to put that out and like let you guys hear it. I might eventually, but it's probably gonna take a while because I wear my heart on my sleeve a lot, and it's hard for me to get the confidence to put something like that out because I'm not overtly confident in myself as a writer, like as a songwriter. One of my favorite analogies actually is from Ed Sheeran, where he talks about like songwriting, where it's like you're cleaning a dirty tap and like shit water is just coming out when you first open up the tap, and you gotta kind of like let it drain a lot of that, and sooner or later as the shit water starts coming out, like eventually clean water starts coming out as well. And then that's the same thing. You get the shit songs out, and then you start getting better songs, and you just keep writing and writing and writing. I haven't had the time to write a ton. Like I said, I've only written a few songs, and I'm not 100% confident if those songs are as good as I want them to be able to actually post them. There's maybe one at this point in time that I think if I kept working on, I might be comfortable posting, and I might eventually. I don't know. I just am not at that point yet, but I'd like to be. Also, I'm not that great of a writer where it's like I only can really write about experiences that I've gone through personally. I'm not great at like third-person writing, where I just write from a totally different perspective that I've never gone through. Like I can't write about like being cheated on. I can't write about certain things like because I've never gone through it. So I'm still working on trying to write from experiences that I've never gone through and like songs that people can relate to. It's gonna take a while. I want to be able to post original songs, and if you guys want me to, I will continue to work. Like just give me some time. I'll probably eventually get to the point where I can post my own stuff. And if you guys want to hear it, like, yeah, I could like eventually, if I can get to the point, I might post that one song that I've been working on if you guys are looking for it. I mean, it's not like a 21 Pilots-esque sound, because I know that's what my main audiences kind of came from. Like, they came from my 21 Pilots songs. It's not like that a lot, so I don't know if necessarily that'll be something that you guys like. But if you guys want to hear like an original song from me, I'll keep working and I'll keep trying, and I will do my best to make it sound as good as I can, and then just let me know what you guys think. But it's gonna take at least a couple months. But yeah, that's basically the long-winded answer to that last question. So yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this very sick Q&A. I'm fighting back the sneezes. I swear, I can feel it congested in my nose. It sounds so bad. It sounds so bad. But yeah, thanks for watching. Obviously, if you guys want to check out some of my covers, I'm going to be posting them on screen at some point at the time. And be sure to subscribe if you like what you've seen. Hit the like button. Leave a comment if you have any more questions, because I really enjoyed doing this. I really did. I like talking with you guys, and just like, whether it be about myself, whether it be about like a certain artist, like if you guys want to know my opinions on certain things, like just let me know. I'd love to talk about it. And yeah, I'd love to do another one of these videos. So if you have any more questions that you want to ask, be sure to leave it under this video, and I'll be sure to keep them in track, and I might do this again sometime when I'm not feeling sick. Also, one last thing, because I know I'm wearing a bit of their clothing. A lot of people have been asking me about this, these D.R.E.A.M products that I wear a lot of the times. It's I got a hat, I got a sweater right now. I know a couple people have actually asked about that, so I'll just get this out of the way. This is a company called Dreams Rule Everything Around Me. They're called D.R.E.A.M. They focus on like clothing, and like I think they've recently actually done like skating products as well. But their main focus is like they're a clothing line with a purpose, and their main goal is like a part of their proceeds go towards raising money for mental health awareness, and like putting it towards institutions like that. And they really make nice stuff. I love wearing their stuff. I've been a big supporter of them. They're not paying me to do this. Like, I just love their stuff. So if you guys want to check out anything like this that you've seen me wear, if you want to check out D.R.E.A.M, I'll leave a link to their website and probably their Twitter too if you guys want to check out some of their stuff. I know they have a new Super Mario Brothers style like hoodie and shirt that's coming out, so if you guys want to check that out, you can just check their stuff out. Again, they're not paying me to do this, I promise you. I just really like their stuff. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter to see what I'm talking about, be sure to follow me at szoomer4 on Twitter and on Instagram. Now I gotta try to sleep tonight, and I have to deal with the fact that I gotta like lay on one side and drain my fucking runny nose, and then lay on the other side, drain it back, and then have like a short period in time where I can actually fall asleep. So hopefully that goes oh, son of a bitch. Hopefully that goes hopefully that goes well for me. But yeah, that's all I got for this Q&A. Thank you guys for watching. I genuinely appreciate it, and I'll just catch you guys for the next one.